welcome back to my channel Get Creative with Polemy. Today we'll be painting an historical place, or you can say a heritage place with old buildings. For that I'm using some acrylic paints, some brushes, and this is a medium canvas, 12 by 12 stretch canvas. So you can see whenever I paint, my son is always there with me. I love it. Okay, so let's start. This is the real picture from which we'll be painting, and we'll be starting by priming the canvas. So now we'll be talking about how to draw from a photograph. So if you have a canvas size photograph, you can just trace it and do not have to spend time on drawing it. But if you have a small photograph like this, then it becomes difficult. Also, this is not a landscape. Landscape is easy to draw. This is a very complex photograph, and someone has asked me to draw this, so I'm doing this painting for her. I don't know whether you can see it or not. I have done some gridding to this photograph. So there are 4 grids here and there are 5 grids here. Also, I have done the same gridding in my canvas. It's 4 grids out here and 5 grids. So to draw this part of the building, what I do see is it is in the first grid and going a bit below the second grid. So I'll do the same. So it will be in the first grid and going a little below the second grid. Okay. So the next part of the same building, it is in the second grid and ending where my third grid is. So I'll pull it down and complete it here where my third grid is ending. So this is how we will cover the entire painting, and that is how you get the composition. We do see the ratio in this photograph and the ratio out on the canvas. So let's quickly complete with our drawing, and then when I come to the coloring part, I will show you how to use photograph for coloring and color mixing. I've got a basic layout of the composition. Now we'll be start painting it. The first layer would be just blocking the colors. Second layer would be putting shading of deeper and lighter values to get these 3D effect. And the third layer would be putting the details. And how do we paint from a picture? So we take colors and then we match it with the color in the picture, and then we put it. Remember, if you're doing acrylic paint, you would like to keep this one 2 or 1 shade lighter because it will dry deeper than the color you're putting. So let's just block the colors. You always don't have to be accurate. If you get a closer color, that would be good enough for the painting. So now let's block this second color, this part of the building, and if I see it's more of a yellow, ochre and white mix, so I would go with that and would keep the first layer light by mixing white, because later we can go ahead and put shading and highlight the masonry work, the texture of the old building Don't get into details when you're blocking the colors. I'm estimating this painting to be around 15 hours, so I couldn't capture it real time, but I have tried my level best to explain the important points which you need to know while painting from a real photograph. These paintings like heritage place, vintage place, old buildings take a lot of time, so you would like to call it a day off after painting for 2 to 3 hours. You have to be very patient. Though I've mentioned the colors I've used in the description box, but while painting from a photograph, you have to go back and forth and mix colors to get as close as the reference photo. If I were to do the same painting for myself, I would have done the style very loose, showing the brush strokes towards abstract. But since I'm doing it for a person who really likes details and a very tight painting, so I am putting in all the details which are there in the photograph. So when you do paintings for others, you have to be mindful of the audience. Probably in the near future, I can show you a very loose and abstract kind of old building painting. So after we spoke about matching colors, we are going to touch on two very important aspects while painting an old building or historical places. The main aspect being how to create these 3D effects. So we can see there is a depthness to it because this is in shadow area, this is far, and the pillars out here are in light and quite highlighted. So you just have to take the base color. Suppose here I've used turquoise or here I've used Tuscan Red. So to highlight, I will use Tuscan Red and white, and then put that color, which is a lighter color, and this will highlight the part I want near or where sunlight is still coming. And if I want to make the darker color, you just use the same base color, Tuscan Red, and using some black to create the 3D effect here. But you would not like to put sharp lines out here. You would just merge it with water. The last aspect I'm going to cover is how to create these shabby masonry to give a old ruined look. So for that I'm taking some black, looking at my reference picture, and with water just would put and blotch the painting here and there to give it a very shabby look. But do not keep the lines hard. With water just merge it. So in this tutorial, I hope you have learned how to paint from a picture, how to mix and match color with the photograph, how to create the 3D effect, and finally, how to paint the old ruined masonry work. After 17 hours, I've completed this painting. I think this is pretty close to the real picture. What do you think? Do let me know in the comment section, and do not forget to subscribe, share, like, hit the bell icon for future videos. Stay home, stay safe, bye.